Chapter 13. The return. As Jake stepped back, the guardian of light waved its hand, and the cavern began to fade. Colors swirled, and the world around him shifted like a painting being washed away. He felt a rush, as if he were being pulled through a tunnel of light. In an instant, he found himself back in the woods, the whole still shimmering before him. Pippin, Teldrin, and the other creatures stood beside him, their forms flickering with residual light. "We did it!" Pippin exclaimed, his wings fluttering joyfully. "You saved Ilaria." But as Jake looked around, a sense of loss washed over him. He felt the shard's warmth in his pocket, but the memories of his adventure began to slip through his fingers like sand. He could remember the creatures, their faces, and the warmth of their friendship, but the details of their stories faded like echoes. Chapter 14. A New Beginning. Will I ever remember? Jake asked, his voice tinged with sadness. Teldrin placed a comforting hand on Jake's shoulder. "Your heart will remember the love and courage you shared with us. Though the memories may fade, the bond we forged will remain in your spirit." Jake looked down at the shards, now glowing softly. "What happens now?" "The shards will restore light and hope to Ilaria," Teldrin explained. "And you, brave human, are forever a part of our story. You will always be a guardian in your own right." As the creatures began to fade, Jake felt a sense of peace wash over him. He knew he had made a difference, that he had helped save a world filled with wonder and magic. "Thank you," Jake called out as they vanished into the shimmering portal. The light around him dimmed, and he found himself alone in the quiet woods behind his grandparents' house. The hole in the ground was gone, as if it had never been there. Jake took a deep breath, trying to hold on to the fleeting emotions of his adventure. The warmth of the shards had vanished, yet he felt a strange sense of fulfillment deep within him. He reached into his pocket, half expecting to find the glowing remnants of Ilaria's magic, but his fingers touched nothing but air. "Jake, dinner time!" His grandmother's voice echoed through the trees. Shaking his head, Jake turned and walked back toward the house, the memories of Ilaria slipping away like a fading dream. He tried to grasp onto them, to remember the faces of Pippin and Teldrin, but the details grew hazy. As he sat at the dinner table, his grandparents chatted about the town's summer festival. Jake listened, but his mind was elsewhere. A feeling lingered in his chest, a quiet assurance that something incredible had happened, even if he couldn't fully recall what. That night, as he lay in bed staring at the ceiling, he felt a strange comfort settle over him. He might not remember the specifics, but he knew he had been part of something important. And maybe, just maybe, Ilaria wasn't entirely gone.